Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Before I get into the pick a card, I do have something I would like to talk to you about. Now, what I wanted to mention to you guys and talk about today is this incredible brand called Rose New York. They sent me this beautiful box of roses that I am in awe with. I am literally in love with them. They're so vibrant, and I wanted to talk a little bit about them to you guys today. So New York is a New York-based brand, and it was funded in 2019, and they sell these beautiful natural roses that last up to a year. So this box right here is going to last me up to a year, and any box that you buy on their website, it lasts for a whole year and they will stay looking fresh. And they use natural oils to preserve the roses. And one thing that I was like kind of in awe of is that they're all handcrafted as well, which I absolutely love. Another thing that I love is that the materials are vegan. So even like the suede box that I'm showing you guys here that I have, it's completely vegan and allergen free as well, which I was sold on. I was happy to read that. And there's so many to choose from if you go on their website. So I'm going to have a link in the description box for you guys to check out their website so you can see all the ranges that they have. There's different color roses, different types of boxes, clear boxes, suede boxes. There's so many types. So I've got the link in the description for you guys to check out on. And if you use my code, which is Lexi20, you guys can get $20 off using that code. So I'll have that on the screen for you, and I'll also have the code in the description box for you guys. So if you want to check in on them, you can use my code. And I just thought it was like a beautiful idea. You know, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and I just thought whether you're treating yourself or treating a loved one, I wanted to mention them today for you guys. So I really hope that you like them. I'll have all the links in the description box, and yeah, let's get straight back into the video. Okay, so now getting back to the video, today's pick a card is basically going to be, what would a tarot reader say about you? So if somebody went to a tarot reader, or specifically if somebody came to me asking about you, what would I tell them? What would I pick up about you? What would I say about you? What would I dive into? What energies would come up? Basically, how would I describe you to other people if they came to me for a reading on you? That's basically what we're doing today. So I have 4 piles for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Angelite. Pile number 2 is the Red Jasper. Pile number 3 is the Citrine. And pile number 4 is the Clear Quartz. Is this a clear? Yeah, it's a Clear Quartz. I get mixed up between this one and the Snow Quartz, but pile 4 is the Clear Quartz. Let me just put that bit there. Okay, so see which crystal you guys are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as always, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So today we are taking a look at what a tarot reader, aka me, would say about you in a tarot reading. So I'm basically going to be tapping into you guys' energies, and I'll just be allowing everything to like flow through, and basically you'll be able to see how I would describe you, how I would talk about you in a reading if someone asked about you. So you guys chose the Angelite. I'm going to pop that actually I'll put it by here, and we are going to get straight in. One thing I do want to say, you're very I think this is my water pile, because I was being shown the sacral chakra, and then I thought, oh, water, and then I was shown dolphins, and then as I was like, they have a strong connection to water. I just got immersed in that water feeling again. So yeah, you may be my water pile. So the first thing that I would say about you, pile number 1, is that you have a very, very strong connection to water and a strong connection to your emotions. I feel like your first language is like empathy and emotions. So that's one thing that I would say about you straight away, is that you're very sensitive because of that. You may have a water rising, but not to take your kindness for weakness, that you're very, very strong. And I would just say that you have a very, very beautiful heart, and you see the light in people, and you want the best for people. It's the first thing that would come up. I would also say you're very connected to your inner child, because a lot of people in this world are shut off to their inner child. They hide their inner child. You know, when people see people in embracing their inner child. People don't like it, they clam up, or they'll try and, you know, call it names or whatever. Whereas I just feel like you guys, one thing that I would say about you guys is that you have a very strong inner child that leads the way for you. You've never lost touch of that. So because you've never lost touch of that, you've also never lost touch of your creativity. You've never lost touch of the brightness of the world, the light of the world, the magic in the world. I would say that you see life very crystallized. You see the beauty in all things. And sometimes I would say that could be a blessing and a curse for you, because sometimes throughout your life, I feel like that weight of the world and the emotions would kind of make you feel like you were drowning sometimes, and you deal with depression, you deal with anxieties, or you just look at the world dismal sometimes, in the sense of, why is the world like this? Like, it could be so magical, we could all walk around with our heart chakras, and we're not doing that. So I feel like sometimes you feel like you have a burden on your shoulders because of that, and I would reference that about you, that sometimes you have to deal with that because there's a lot of emotions that you process. But I would say that the more you get older and the more you tune into that, you learn to live with it as a blessing instead of a curse, and you learn to kind of like filter those energies and work through those energies and master those energies to work for you, and that energy is more of a blessing than a curse. You are like the epitome of an empath, and that is something that I would say. So if someone was coming to me in regards of love, I would say for them to be very gentle with you, not in the sense of walking on eggshells, but be very gentle with your energy. Like, you're very pure. Like, you know, when animals, they're just very pure, they see you at face value. I feel like you have that same essence. So I would say to be very gentle, don't lie, don't, you know, treat them in that kind of way, because they're very genuine people. That's one thing that I would say. I would also say that you light up the room, because I'm being shown the sun. I feel like you really do light up the room, and I feel like your presence is very healing to people. But let's lay the cards before we go any further, otherwise I'll keep talking. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1, the Angelite pile. Pile number 1, please. What is it about pile number 1? Oh God. What is it about pile number 1 that I would say? How would I describe pile number 1? How would I describe pile number 1? We have Temperance reversed. How would I describe... No, it's not reversed. I've been holding my cards upside down. Was that supposed... They were like, no, look at your cards. Is that upright or upside down? Upright. I was holding my cards upside down. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. How would a tarot reader describe pile number 1? How would I describe pile number 1? 10 of Cups. How would I see? Look at all the cups here and the cups here. Strong connection to water, strong connection to your emotions. That's like first language for you. You know, like I always say about the 4 bodies, the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. You're very connected to your emotional body. You've processed very heavy emotions in your lifetime. So I feel like I would reference that you... It feels like someone that had to deal with a lot in childhood. Had to deal with a lot of pain in childhood. I feel like you went through an initiation in the earlier side of your life that kind of turned you into a healer. I feel like you were always an empath, you were always sensitive, but I feel like your childhood helped you tap more into that compassion, tap more into your heart, and be able to empathize with other people and understand other people. Another thing that I'm being told is that you may have Mercury in a water sign, because the way that you speak, the way that you talk, it's very healing to others. It hits the nail on the head for others, whether it triggers people or whether it soothes people or helps people. I would also say that you have a very silky voice. Yeah, 100%. So I feel like you may have Mercury in a water sign. If you don't, no worries, but you just have that energy in general. Like the way you speak, the way you communicate, it's soft, it's silky, you have healing words, and sometimes you don't even realize that you're healing people. You're just talking, but you really do. And that's something that I would say that you're a strong nurturer. I would say that children and animals are very connected to you, as well as nature. Pile number 1, I would say you're very soft, but in a very powerful way. Upright, upside down. Upright. I would say you're very soft, but in a in a powerful way. Again, I feel like I would have to keep saying, don't take their kindness for weakness, because I feel like in your lifetime you've dealt with people that have taken your kindness for weakness. You've dealt with people that have tried to take advantage, when in really that heart, what they were deeming as weak, was actually very strong. You connecting to those emotions, you being vulnerable, like that's, if it was a weakness, like, why would, how do I explain this? How do I put it into words? If it was a weakness, then why would everybody be so scared to do it? Do you understand what I mean? That's what Spirit's saying. If your heart and being vulnerable and authentic and pure like that was a weakness, why would people be so scared to do it? Why would people run from it? Why would people be so scared to shine themselves out? It's definitely not a weakness. And I would have to keep referencing that, of like how strong you are and how strong your emotions are, because I feel like a lot of what you've done in your life in regards to healing, in regards to purging, because you are a born healer, I would say a lot of it's gone unnoticed. I would say that a lot of it's happened underneath the surface, and I would say you have a whole movie going on under the surface, but on the outside you may look very calm, just very sweet, or just very, very peaceful. No one would know the weight that's going on within you and how much you're actually processing. I would say that you're a lot more intelligent than you give yourself credit for. I would say that you're always analyzing. I would say you're very caring, but I would keep referencing, like, don't think, if this person's outside, sitting outside and all quiet, or this person's in their bedroom all quiet, or this person's in work and they're all quiet, don't mistake that for shy. Don't mistake that for, like, innocence in the sense of naivety. I would say don't think that, because believe me, they may look like they're just looking around and not thinking much, but inside there is so much going on internally. They're processing emotions, they're healing from things 5 years ago, they're analysing their surroundings, they're picking up on energies from their surroundings, they're channeling spirit, they're thinking of a creative idea in their head. Like, there is so much that goes on, and your brain is such a multitasker. I would say there's so much than just like the surface. And I feel like you guys, pile number one, are very attractive and pleasing to the eye, or very aesthetically pleasing on the surface. So people normally just look at that and that's it. So I would keep like reiterating like the iceberg thing, where like the tip of the iceberg you're seeing, very attractive, yes, but you should see the beauty beneath as well. There's a lot of it. And I would keep referencing that, because when I tap into you, there's so much. But I feel like if someone was to ask about you, they may not see all that goes on. So I would really like push into that and explain the extent of what goes on. I would also say that you've had to heal from family wounds. You've had to overcome a lot from childhood, purge it out, break ancestral, karma, to get the life that you have, or the life that you're manifesting right now. You've had to really do a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work. You've had to look at your demons, look at your shadows in the eye, and heal them. You know what I mean? Oh, the card just flopped out. We have the Eight of Wands as well. I would say that you are like a timeline hopper. I feel like you work with energy very well, so you're able to manifest a lot in for yourself. I feel like you're able to, you work with energy in the sense that you're able to, it's 2:22 on the clock, by the way. Let me just show you that if you've been seeing it. How do I explain this? I feel like you're a shaman at heart, or you're someone that's able to look at matter beyond the physical, look at energies beyond the physical, like emotional and spiritual. I feel like they're very tuned up. I feel like you've got an open crown chakra, but there's something about the way you walk through life. It's like you're always dwindling between the two realms. You're never just in the physical, so you're able to see beyond that. So say now you want to manifest something in, when you look at that timeline, you can see all that you need to do to get there. And a lot of it's not even physical, a lot of it's energetically. I feel like you don't put too much focus so much on the physical. Like, you'll do what needs to be done with this Eight of Pentacles here to build in the physical and bring your manifestations in. But in regards to spiritually and energetically, I feel like that's where a lot of your work is done, to bring your shifts and changes in, to jump from timelines to timelines. Like, that's what you do. I feel like you really do. I'm having trouble putting it into words, because I just feel like the way that you even look at life is just so different and unique and unwired. Like, it's just like wired differently. So I'm trying to like put it into words and verbalize it so that I don't butcher it, but it's coming through as energy, because that's how you look at the world. yeah, I just feel like, say now you have a manifestation in front of you, it's like, I know what shadow work to do to get there. I know what insecurity I need to overcome to get there. I know what I need to be focusing on to get there. Like, you look at it from an energy perspective. And I feel like that's why you bring a lot of like bliss and harmony into your life. I would also say that you don't create out of desire. You don't manifest out of desire. You manifest from the heart. And I feel like you allow your intuition to guide you a lot. And you know, my favorite saying, walk with faith, not by sight. I feel like you walk with that too. I feel like the way you look at life, it's like that may seem impossible to some, but they're only focusing on the physical, when in actuality there's a lot more to that. So it may look impossible to the people around me, but I can energetically see that timeline, and I know what to do energetically and emotionally to get there, even mentally to get there. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to bring it in. So I would say to never underestimate you, because you I would say to never underestimate you and look at everything in the sense of 3D, because I feel like you're one step ahead a lot of the time, because you're open-minded to seeing beyond the physical. Do you understand what I mean? And that's why these manifestations come in, and that's why that healing comes in, and that's why you find yourself a lot of the times in like the right place, right time, or things just happen for you. It's because you're open to the universe guiding you there, instead of just like fixating on the physical and what you don't have. That's the beauty of looking at the magic of life as well. We also have 10 of Swords at the back of the deck, so I would say that either in your life you went through one very big ascension in your lifetime that had you completely shift and change in regards to your life, like where in the sense of maybe you moved somewhere different, or you switched jobs and it was very different, or just your outlook of life. Like, you're not the same person from 10 years ago as you are now, or even 5 years ago. I'm even being told a week ago, like, you are always shifting and changing. You are always rebirthing. I was going to say maybe you've been through like one dark night, but I almost feel like you're always shifting. You're always alchemizing. There's always more. Life's an adventure, and I would say that you look at life like that, very adventurous. I would say, like, you know, like the pick a card I did the other day, the Disney one, I feel like your life's kind of like that. The way that you look at life, you have the main character energy, but not in the sense of like, I'm Sharpay from High School Musical, look at me, like I'm bad bitch, like not like that. You have main character energy like a Moana. You have like main character energy like the lady from Encanto, if you watched that, the one that came out. You know, you have that kind of main character energy where you're led by the heart and you want to help, and it's that type of energy. I would say that there is never a dull and boring moment with you, but I would also say that being around you or being in your life, whether it's a friendship or relationship, you do need space sometimes, and because you're always shifting and changing, you do go into isolation sometimes. So I would say to never take some of your actions personally, because I feel like in your past you've had people take your disappearing acts or your isolation times as you leaving them behind, or you not wanting to have anything to do with them. And I would say to whoever was asking about you, like, don't take them going into themselves or being quiet sometimes as them ignoring you. Like, don't take it like that. They're always in another world, and they're transmuting their energies, and because their energy is so sensitive, they need that time to heal and grow. You know what I mean? They're always shifting, changing, manifesting. Like, there's always so much going on with this person, I would say. And then I would also say that if you are not committed to your own growth, you may find that this person, not in the sense that they leave you behind, but this person may outgrow you. I would say to be in pile number one's life, you are someone that has to continuously be committed to working on self and being the best version of you. Because this person is always shifting and changing. They're showing me the Spotless Mind song with Janae Aiko, where she's like 100 different people in the video. It's like that. It's like you're always on to something new, and I feel like you need someone that is able to hold that weight and shift with you too. I would also say that you need someone that kind of like keeps that spark alive with you. I feel like the mundane everyday looking at life in the 3D, I feel like you do need someone that can ground you sometimes. But I would say if you're too the other way, I feel like there would be a complete miscommunication, and I mean that in the sense of like you're speaking two different languages. Like, this person's full of empathy and emotions, and you know, leads their way through like emotions in their heart and the way they feel in their energetic body. So if you're looking at things very concrete too much, there would be like a miscommunication there. Do you know what I mean? A language barrier of energy. definitely I would say that you need someone that can help ground you, but also keeps that spark alive. I would say that you're best fit to fire signs, Pile One, in regards to friendships and relationships. I feel like someone with a lot of Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, so they're still in their physical body and they're still grounded, but they also have that spark of adventure. I feel like that would really fit for you. I feel like someone that was too in their mental energy, or someone that was too in their physical energy and looking everything at face value, I feel like there would be a shift at one point. You wouldn't really align with them all too much. I would also say less is more with you. Like, I feel like you're not someone that likes when I say you're not someone that likes extravagant things, I don't mean in the sense that you're not high maintenance, but I would say that your high value and your high maintenance and your meaning of luxury and extravagant is very different to a lot of other people's. I don't feel like you're someone that would care too much for like designer or anything too flashy. You care for like meaning. So I would say if like anyone was to be buying you presents or anything, you like things with a sentimental touch. So listening to them, what they like, I feel like that's something that you like Christmas, birthdays, presents and all that. You like something that touches the heart, and also things that look beautiful but in a very like celestial way, or in a very like Gaia way. So like plants, shells, ornaments of like Mother Gaia and animals and things like that. I feel like that is something that you would really love. But I'm also being shown like crystals and all of that and books. I feel like that is something that you would really love. I'm also being shown Belle from Beauty and the Beast, where she goes into that library and she has that massive library that the Beast kind of like gave her. I feel like something like that would really suit you. So I would say to really listen, because I feel like you're very sentimental as well. You may have a lot of Cancer in your chart. You're very sentimental with objects and things like that. So let's get into your oracle cards. I'll pop these up a little bit. I'll pop that here. I'll move these up so we can get the oracle cards in. Something about your hair as well. I feel like you have very beautiful hair. But I would say that everything about you, whether it's physical or non-physical, there's more than meets the eye. Yes, you have beautiful hair, but your hair is very sensitive, and I feel like you channel from your crown. And I feel like when you're in public places, your hair can literally pick up energy. And you need to like wash your hair or cleanse your hair a lot or sage your hair, because there's something about your hair. It may be very beautiful, it may be very long, but it's like there's something to it. Like I feel like you pick up a lot with it. And you have to be very careful about your crown and your hair in general. I would say every little thing about you, there's such a deeper meaning to, like, even down to jewelry. Like, that person isn't just wearing that bracelet for no reason. Ask that person when they're wearing something why they're wearing it, and I bet you they'll have a huge story as to why they're wearing it. If a person has a tattoo, it's not just a normal tattoo. Like, that tattoo has meaning to it. Everything you do is with meaning, because you walk through life with your emotions. So anything that you do, anything that you wear, anything that you, even just a body part about you, there's like a meaning to it, even in your like physical body. You know what I mean? Because I'm being told you may have very big, beautiful, like deep penetrating eyes. And I'm being told that you're like strongly then like clairvoyant, so even every little thing, like you may always be like, I channeled the other day and there was a pile that was always really warm. Like they always felt warm. So that you may be the same people that I said that to. And I'm being told even that, like, there's meaning to it. If you weren't in that pile, what I was picking up is like, even, and it's coming through now, like feeling very hot. So people know you for being very hot, but in past lives you would have taught your body temperature to like contain heat, so you naturally have that on autopilot in this lifetime, so you're always hot. I'm burning up as I'm saying it. So I'm embodying it. So I feel like you're known for being very, very warm and very, very hot, and I feel like that's a gift that you have. But I would say like that person isn't just warm because they're warm. Like there's a gift to that. There's a reason that they do that. Every little thing that they do, there's a reason to it. I would say that you're a very, very meaningful person. You don't just do stuff for the sake of doing it, even when it looks like it. Like you're not just going to the park to go to the park. You're nurturing your inner child. Your inner child wants to play. Like it's that type of thing. Pile number one, please. Pile number one, please, spirit guides. Pile number one. What would I say about pile number one? We have hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. And did you see her there with the butterfly? And that looks like a crystal ball as well. And we've got the autumn leaves. See, this is the thing about this card. With the autumn leaves here, it's like, I would tell whoever it is that was asking about you to not, you know, I was saying about everything happens with you with a meaning. If someone's trying to get you to go somewhere and you don't want to go, or somebody's trying to get you to be more extroverted, or someone's trying to get you out to, like, you know, go on a night out or go for food, and you're genuinely not feeling it, there's a reason you're not feeling it. So don't take their rejection, I would say, as them not liking you. There's a reason that they're not around you right now, or there's a reason that they don't want to go to that place right now or attend that event right now. There is a reason for it. Maybe spirit told them to charge up on their energies. Maybe like these autumn leaves here, they're going through that rebirth. Maybe they just don't feel aligned with it, or maybe they had a psychic reason as to why not to go. You are always led by fate like that. You are always listening to that, and I feel like a lot of fateful experiences happen because of that. So I would say, if you're going for a walk with this person and this person says, I think it's time to go home, listen, because you'll find that when you do go home, even though you wanted to stay, later then there was a massive thunderstorm and there was rain, you know what I mean? Or, you know, later, you know, you hear that something bad had happened there and you just escaped it. I feel like stuff like that happens with you. So I would say, whenever you're like predicting something in the sense of, I've got a feeling we should go, or I've got a feeling we should go to this restaurant or whatever, there is a reason. You're being guided by your emotions and by spirit. So listen to this person. They know what they're talking about, even if it sounds crazy, you know, listen to them. I would say that about that card. Pile number one. We have seduction, passion, and romance await. I would say, because you're led by the heart, because you are somebody that like leads with your emotions, I feel like you're someone that is very, very passionate. And I would say that you're a slow burner when it comes to love. It takes you a while to open up to people because you have to really feel connected to them. But I would say that you're very, very loving. I feel like even on birthdays, I feel like you're very sentimental. Sorry guys, I'm getting annoyed that it's not going straight. There we go, I think that's straight. I feel like even on birthdays, like, you're very sentimental with gifts. I feel like you're very generous on birthdays. You almost feel like you have a Leo heart. Like, you want to give, you know what I mean? You want to make people have like the best time if it's their birthday or something like that. Because it's reminding me of me in a sense. Like, when it's someone's birthday, I go all out. Like, and I plan it like 2 months prior. I always do that for people in my small, like, little circles, birthdays. I feel like you're someone like that, or you just love to give, and I just feel like you're so passionate. And I feel like to be in your life and be friends with you, or be, you know, in a relationship with you, or just be in like in the family with you, I just feel like you're someone that's very, very passionate. You have so much love, and even like you see beyond just like being in someone's life. It's like you understand the soul contract, why they're here, what they're working on, what they're triggering within you. It's like, it's not just a case of, oh, this person's just coming for the ride. It's like, this person means something to me, and I feel like in turn, I feel like that lights your heart up, and that's where that passion comes from. You see meaning within everything, whether it's an animal in your life, or even like an object that shows up in your life. I feel like you'll question it, like, oh, why are you here? What are you teaching me? There's a feeling of that coming through. That's where that passion comes from. Pile number one, please, spirit guides. I don't know why I'm so careful on the aesthetics. You guys, I feel like you guys are very creative, and everything is like perfect when you don't even mean it to be. It's reminding me, again, I gotta take you to the movie Encanto. I've watched it about 5 times since it came out. I really enjoy it. You know, the really beautiful and perfect one, Isabel, and everything she does is like aesthetically pleasing. I feel like you naturally have that because you're so creative, because everything has meaning. It has that flair, and it has that touch, which makes it aesthetically pleasing. And I feel like that's why I'm caring about where everything's going, because everything has meaning. Do you understand what I mean? That's you guys. So I'd really like drum that home. Like, I feel like you're someone, when you have, I feel like you're good at astrology, because they're showing me astrology placements to explain what you're like. Like, they're showing me like Venus in the 4th house, and they're saying like, you, like, say you have a house or a room or whatever, like, it has its own theme. It has its own aesthetic. In regards to what vibe you're picking up from it. It has its own, like, there's art that you may create and put in there because that's the theme of it. Like everything's art. The world is art for you. Very, very strongly. You don't have to have Venus in the 4th house. It's just what they're showing me. They've shown a lot of astrology placements to show what you're like. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up. Like everything, you don't just buy a tarot deck to buy a tarot deck. It's the aesthetic. You don't just buy a perfume to buy a perfume. It's the aesthetic. Like, I feel like everything has its meaning, you know? Maybe working on self-love, so you're buying a lot of rose perfumes, you know what I mean? Or like rose cologne and things like that. There's a meaning to everything. Even like color nails, there's a meaning to everything. Oh. I don't know how to say this word, guys. The caduceus? The caduceus. Yeah, that's the caduceus. Okay. Next we have, you will receive news from afar. See, this is the thing. I feel like you're a messenger of spirit of some kind. Whether it's in the sense that you literally deliver messages from spirit, or whether you just like talk to people and you don't even realize you're channeling messages for them, or whether it's just like you're picking up on the emotional body, you understand that. And like I said about you guys maybe having a water Mercury, you guys know what to say to heal people. You know what message to deliver. I feel like you're channeling when you don't realize you're channeling. And yeah, I feel like you deliver a lot of messages without even realizing it. So I would say to whoever was asking about you, listen to what they say to you. They're delivering messages from spirit. Even if they don't even think they are, even if they're not even aware of it, listen to what they're saying. What they're saying is holding weight. Listen. I would say that. Make sure you're listening to this person. With an open mind as well. Pile number... Yeah, everything you do, there's a deeper meaning to it. Follow your intuition this year. What was I saying about you being led with your intuition in this lifetime and this year? Again, with the astrology things here, you guys may be astrologers or be really good at that. There's a feeling of that. Or if you're thinking of doing it, I feel like you'd become a really good astrologer. We also have follow your intuition. So 100%, I just feel like you get led with spirit. Spirit leads the way. Your heart leads the way. You go where the river takes you, wherever that means. Even if it isn't like in a line with where you are right now, like you listen. It's like a calling that you just listen. With people, work, you know, traveling, everything. It's like, I feel like I need to be here. So you just kind of follow that. The back of the deck, we have Earth. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. I feel like some of the things that you say may sound so whimsical, but I would say to not just apply logic to this person and think that this person's just talking bizarre. Like, this person has a meaning to everything. And I would say to keep an open mind with you because you're very, very intelligent. Very intelligent. That's what I would say about you guys, pal number one. But all in all, I would just say that you're someone that's very pure hearted, has a very beautiful heart, works with spirit, works with the divine, strong connection to animals, strong connection to nature, anything with innocence and a pure heart that is at face value. I feel like you're very connected to that. Yeah, and you guys chose the Angelite as well, which is connected to the, you know, angelic realms and the crown chakra. So that makes a lot of sense how you would have that. I would literally say you're some sort of earth angel. Or you're a starseed that's here to, like, show compassion and love. But definite earth angel. I see them all the same. But yeah. Very beautiful heart. So that is what I would say about you, pal number one. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Hey, pal number two, welcome to your readings. So today we are taking a look at what would a tarot reader, aka me, say about you. So you guys chose the red jasper. I'm going to pop it up here. I'll pop it up here. And we are going to get straight in. I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll move on to the oracle cards. And I'm just going to be channeling your energy and basically be talking about what I feel like. I'll be talking about your personality, your energy that I'm picking up, who you are as a person. I'll be allowing it all to like flow out and just basically be talking about you as if someone came to ask me about you, basically. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2, tap me into the collective of pile number 2. You spark a life in people. Like, I'm being shown like yellow, yellow, yellow. So I feel like you have strong solar plexus energy. I would say that you're an adventure in a cup. Like, that is what I would literally say about you. And I would say you're a firecracker. And I feel like you're very grounded, but in a fiery way. Not like a slow and steady way. Not in like an earthy way. I feel like you just have this passion for life. You may have a lot of fire in your chart. Whether it's, you know, any of the fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, I feel like you're someone that makes like a really good companion and a really good friend. I would say that you have a beautiful heart, and I feel like you're just very passionate and playful. And with pile number 1, it was like they were connected to their inner child, but it was in a very like watery way. Whereas you guys, I feel like you allow your inner child to lead you, but in a very fiery way. Very, very inspired by life, and what can I do next, and what fires me up, what lights me up. And I would say that about you. I would say you're really fun. And one thing that I would say as well, I would say that I would, in regards to romance, if I was matching you up with someone, I would match you up with my pile 1s. Because when I was channeling pile number 1s, I said for love and friendships, you'd do well with someone that had a lot of fire energy in your chart. And then I tap into you guys, and I'm feeling the heat. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to put it out here now, pile number 1s and 2s, you two would, those two piles, they work very well together in regards to a duo. So yeah, that's something that I would pick up. I'm playing matchmaker here, but I would probably do that. I feel like I'd like say about my friends to you guys, like, oh my god, I have a friend that you'd suit. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know, I really like your energy. I would be in favor of your energy, pile 2. That's what I would be. Pile number 2, let's pull some tarot cards before I just keep talking and talking and talking. So pile number 2, pile number 2. I don't know, there's something very zesty coming through. I don't know if you're drinking some with a lot of like lemons, limes, grapefruits, oranges. There's something very zesty coming through. So I don't know if you're drinking that, eating that, I don't know. But I just keep having that feeling and taste in my mouth. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What would a tarot reader say about pile 2? What would I say about pile number 2? I'm literally knocking all of my plants and crystals. Yeah, fire energy. We have 2 of Wands. See, you're very adventurous. You may be a bit of a traveler, or someone that likes to go traveling. Even if you don't go traveling, I just feel like you're someone that likes to see new sights, likes to go on like little adventures. I feel like you're someone like that. I feel like if someone was coming towards me asking about you in a relationship, I would say that like you want to, like, this person's going to keep you on your toes, but I feel like you need to accompany them and take them on dates. I feel like your type of date would be somewhere where you're like quad biking, or just out in nature and roaming and seeing new places, or like just something fun like that. I feel like you're very fun and like action based in that type of sense. And I just feel like anything that can introduce you to something new, where you can see something new, I would tell any friend or relationship stepping towards you to do that with you. You're someone that needs that kind of sparkle it. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What would I say about pile number 2? What would a tarot reader? Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Let me just lay the cards before I get in and channel. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What would I say about pile number 2? What would I say? I would say you're very funny. Very, very funny. We have the 3 of Swords. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. You're very caring of people though. Like, you really think of people's feelings. I feel like you're very funny and you're someone that you could have banter with. But I feel like you're that type of person where if somebody's upset and going through it, I feel like you liven them up. You'd like talk them up, big them up, tell them like how attractive they are and how much of a good person they are. Like, you bring the fire back to people, and that's very healing to people. You bring that zhuzh for life, that zest for life. You bring that back to people. You're someone that being in your life, I feel like you're someone that will have people see things in a higher perspective, in a brighter perspective. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a spiritual perspective, just in like a fun perspective. Like, why are we upset? Like, I sometimes do this thing where like, sometimes if like someone's just getting angry for like no reason, then obviously express your anger. But like, if someone's just really like fixating on something and I know that it's detrimental to their energy at that point, like I always like to have a joke, and I'll say like, look, we're human beings, we come from space, we're on a rock, it's floating on Earth, like we can do anything that we want. You know what I mean? Like this, like look at the like wonders. Do you know what I mean? There's a moon here and it controls the tides. Like there's so many things going on, and you're getting upset over a cup spilling? I don't think so. Like I do that sometimes to people around me, and I've noticed it just like brings them out of that energy. They'll just start laughing. So I like to give people that perspective, and they reference that in regards to you. So I feel like you do that as well. Like you're someone that will just like crack a joke and make fun or like light of a situation to see the brighter side of it and see the silver lining. You're someone with a lot of optimism. You may have a lot of Sagittarius in your energy, but you're someone with a lot of optimism. You don't stress over the small stuff. I feel like if something happens that like annoys you, I feel like, yeah, okay, you'll give something room to purge and get out if it needs to, but you don't hold on to an energy. You will transmute that and then see the silver lining. So say now say now you work from home and you wanted to work, and then something comes up, it's like you'll see the silver lining. Like, you know what, maybe I needed to focus on something different today, or maybe I needed to take care of myself today. Like, you always see the brighter side of it, relationships, everything. And I feel like having you in someone's life, it's very healing in that way. Like, things are always brighter when you're around. The back of the deck, we have 3 of Cups. So this is what I'm saying, like, you're a very good friend. I feel like you're someone, like, on birthdays and stuff, you'd like really treat people, you'd really give to people, you'd make it a whole fiesta. I feel like you're that type of friend where like someone close to you passes a degree, or passes the driving test, or buys a new house, or has a baby. Like, I feel like you're almost like party planner type of person, or you're someone that will just give a lot and do all of these fun things and think outside of the box. Like, you're one of those people, and that's something that I would say to you. I would also say that you're very giving and loving to others as well, because with the 3 of Swords, I feel like you have been through certain situations in your lifetime that have taken your light away or taken your spark away, or maybe in earlier life people tried to like bully you or pull you off your pedestal or make you feel bad for being so bright and being such a light, and I'm being told that, like, because you know how it feels when people make you feel like that, because you've had it done to you, you make sure to like spread that love to other people so that they don't have to feel that way. And you're very protective over people having their authenticity or having their light taken away from them. I feel like you'd really stand up for people like that. I feel like I would say that you've had people really take from you. So I would say that it's funny because I feel like you've had people take from you and you've learned boundaries, but not in the sense of like, stay away from me, my walls are really high. I feel like you've got to that point in your healing, when I'm channeling you right now, where you have a perfect level of like boundaries but being open to people. And I would say that just because this person's being kind to you and fun with you and making such a laugh, like, they do have feelings. And if you try to take advantage of them, or if you try to pull them off that pedestal or put your triggers and projections on them, they will step in. Like, don't think that just because this person's nice and kind, they're not going to tell you off if they need to. Like, this person feels very fiery, like, they will tell you. And I feel like you're not someone that will necessarily go off and, you know, kick off on people and like be argumentative because you see the brighter side. You don't see the point of that. But I'm being told that if someone's really poking at something that you feel passionate about and that you have love for, you can hold an argument. You know exactly what to say. You can put people in their place, and you can be very stern when backed up against a wall. The only time I really see you doing that is if you're passionate about something and someone tries to demean that. I feel like then you would, or if someone's mean to someone that you love. I feel like anything that is kind of like someone's trying to pull at your heart, pull at something you're passionate at, you'll bite. Like, that lion comes with a bite, like, you will. And I don't mean you're like nasty or you fly off the edge, but you're just very loyal to what you love. Like, there's a strong sense of loyalty here coming through. I feel like as a friend, you're someone that's very loyal. You do not allow other people to talk bad about your friends. I feel like in a relationship, you're very loyal. You seem like the ride or die type of friend or person in a relationship. Like, you're that type of person. And I would say as well, like, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You've never let darkness from your past turn you into like a bad person or a negative person or like a closed off person. Your heart's on your sleeve. You spread love to spread love because it's just in your nature. You spread your light and happiness to do that because it's just in your nature. I feel like you may even, and I would say this, you may even at times have dealt with people that have like sucked the energy out of you sometimes, because that light and that zest, you've drawn in people that have been feeling depressed or dull, and they turn to you as a crutch. They turn to you to spice their life up. They, you know, I've just heard Spice Girls, spice up your life. Like, I feel like people turn to you for that because you're such a party. Like, I'm literally hearing the song from Spice Girls. You're that type of person, like, you're such a party, and I feel like people try and pull on that or take advantage of that as if it's like something they can just keep pulling on, and that's something that you've learned to kind of like balance that out. And with the Queen of Cups, I feel like you've learned to like balance out that passionate emotional side, to contain it so that you're not taken advantage of and given too much, because you are a giver. Like, you are someone that's a giver all the way through, and you have a lot to give. I would say that about you. You like gold dust. That's how it's coming through. I'm hearing Angel Dust by Tamira. If you want to listen to that, that's a song that's coming through about you. Angel Dust by Tamira. And she sings like 24K like angel dust, like when she's talking about herself and her energy. And yeah, that's what I'm picking up about you. You're just very like high maintenance, but of the self. I feel like everything's going to be a party. Everything's going to look good. I would say that you're very stylish. I feel like you're always looking good. Even when you don't make an effort, you just naturally do that because you see the fun of life. I almost feel like, you know, like every movie ever where like the main character gets up for the day, they try their outfit on. Just reminded me of Cher from Clueless. She wakes up in the morning, David Bowie's Fashion is playing, and she's looking for like her outfit for the day, and every outfit she wears and every outfit that Dion wears in that movie is iconic. And what's the other girl? What's her name? Curly hair. What's her name? Oh, I just had it and then I lost it. Ty, that's it. Thank you, Spirit. Ty, like those type of outfits. I just feel like you're someone that like dresses up, like looks good, aesthetically pleasing, fashionista. You always shine out. And even when you just think I'm just shoving on a jean and t-shirt, like the way you rock it, it's your energy and the way you carry things, that it's like main character energy. And I feel like that's why people may try and pull you off your pedestal. But yeah, I would say that you have main character energy without realizing it. Don't mistake this person's like brightness and their main character energy as them being, you know, egocentric or full of themselves. Like, no, it's not about that. They just carry themselves really well, and they just have that flair that, you know, inspires people. They're an inspiration to people. I would say that you're very creative as well. Very creative. I feel like you'd make really good like photographers, stylists, like storytellers, movie makers, like whatever the case. I just feel like you're very good. The way you visualize and see life, it's like you see things really good. And I would say that being in your life, you really put people on a pedestal with you. Like, if someone's in your life and they're worthy of being in your life, like, you give so much to them, but you really point out their really good traits. Like, you know, sometimes you get friends and they try to like knock you down. I've had friends like that in the past where it's like they'll try and demean things that I do, whereas like I feel like you're that friend that will like big up, you know, your friend, like anything about them, whether it's the way they talk, like you've got a really good voice, or you've got a really good singing voice, like you're someone that gives a lot of compliments like that and very vocal like that. Pile number 2, what would I say about pile number 2 if someone asked about them? The Sphinx. Choose your words carefully. Yeah, okay, I would say everything that you, with pile number 1, it was like everything they do has meaning, but with you, it's everything you say has meaning. Like, just because you're given a lot of love, you're not just saying it because you can. You're not just bigging up people because you feel like it or you want to be liked. You're doing that because you genuinely see it in people, and you like to spread that to people. You like people to know that they look good and feel good, because that makes you feel good knowing that they feel good. Do you understand what I mean? You like to have people standing next to you and shining too. And some people may think that you do it to you may just do it just for the sake of it. That's just your character. Or maybe they may think, oh, well, they're just trying to be nice to me, or there's a catch to it. And I would say that everything you're doing is with meaning, because that's your morals. So if you are in this person's life, I would say watch what you say to them, because they take everything that people say as face value. So if you're saying something and you're not intending on following through with it, don't do that to pile number 2, because they will take it as concrete when you say it. Don't say nasty things to pile number 2 if you don't want them to cut you off or walk away, because whatever you've said to pile 2, they will remember it, because their words, they know their words hold weight, and they've had people in their life that have said things that have like really like hit them. You know what I mean? So I would say to be careful what you say to pile number 2, because you may just be saying something in the moment and think it's funny, but it will hit them, because they don't just say stuff to say it, they mean it. You know what I mean? So if you're saying you're going to show up for pile 2, show up for pile 2. Don't just say it because they're saying it and you like the sound of it. That's what I would say, because I feel like maybe in the past you've had people that loved your energy and wanted to match it, so they've said a lot of things that you've been saying because they like it, but then they haven't had it within them to be that expressive, or they haven't had it in them to match that energy in real life, and it's left you disappointed. And then it's like, well, why did you lie? You know what I mean? Why did you do that? So I would say to watch what is said to you, because your morals are like, I'm not going to say something I don't mean. Everything has to have a meaning in that sense. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What would I say about pile number 2? A new relationship blossoms, the maiden. I would say you're romantics at heart, even when you say you're not. Some of you guys are like, I'm not romantic. Oh, I don't like that romantic stuff. And then deep down, you kind of are. So I would say you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, and you're actually very romantic. Because you're very passionate like that, very romantic. I feel like you like the finer things in regards to love. I feel like you're someone that's very, when you are in love, you're very romantic like that. And I feel like you do romanticize life in a very grounded way. But I feel like those little gestures, if someone was asking about you in a relationship, I would say like physical gestures, because they've heard a lot of people talk, but actual physical gestures, like making a nice meal for them, doing this, doing that, making them feel special, making them feel like Rihanna, only girl in the world. I would say do that, whether it's like male or female, do that for them, because they really appreciate it, because they give so much love out. When it's like received, they really take that in. It really fills their heart up. I would say that you're a giver and you need to be in a relationship with another giver, or you need to be in a friendship with another giver, or just companions you have in your life. They need to give the same way you give. And I would say that you're not going to settle for less. I would say that you know your worth and you're not going to settle for less. Don't play about with pile 2, because one thing that I would say about you guys as well is even if you're going through a stage where you're working with feeling unworthy, so maybe in the past you've dealt with situations where people have tried to offer you less than what you deserve, you may in the past have thought that was all you deserved and thought, oh, I'm just going to settle for this maybe in the past, and then your spirit guides were like, hell no. So I would say your spirit guides are very, very protective over you. I see the shield of spirit guides around you, like it's gone on enough. You know, it's enough for them to learn their lesson and pour that love within and not settle for that. So we're going to like divine intervention and pull away, because the lesson's been learned here. This person is not settling for this. They have too much of a big heart to settle for this. No way. This person will be burned out. I feel like your spirit guides are very, very protective over you like that, and your ancestors. So I would say do not play with my pile number 2. Do not play with them. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 2? I keep seeing your color scheme being yellow, orange, red, especially orange and yellow. The spirit, what was I saying about you being protected? We literally have the spirit, unseen forces watch over you. What was I saying? I mean, I'm not going to go around and say it again, but that's exactly what I was saying. And with the holding the skull there as well, it's like souls that would have been on earth, ancestors, like you're very protected in that way. Very, very protected, because your heart is golden. You know what I mean? So that's why you're so protected like that. Yeah. I feel like you're going to find your tribe as well. There's something with you about like worthiness. The more you feel worthy of something, the more you're going to attract it. And I feel like you're learning that in regards to finances, career. The more you feel worthy of it, the more you attract it. I feel like that may have been a lesson, which is why I'm seeing so much yellow solar plexus activations. Pile number... Your soul is very pricey too. I feel like in regards to your higher self knows its worth. And I feel like you've had a lot of lifetimes, and I feel like you know your energy is golden like that. And I feel like in this lifetime, maybe at the beginning of your life, like childhood, early teens, you've just thrown your energy around thinking, oh, I can just like give it out, and people have become attached to it or taken it for advantage or tried to trap you to keep like feeding off it. And you've had to learn to set boundaries and cut people off like that. You've learned to do that. Yeah, you're a very genuine person, a very genuine and loyal person. Pile number... I feel like I would say as well that in the past, because of people that would try and leech off you, I feel like you had like energetic ties to people that you've had to work on cutting off. When I tap into you, I feel like you pretty much cut them all off, but I feel like through life you would have had to learn. And when I say energetic ties, it could be that like someone was really taken from you, you just allowed them to, and then one day you had enough, saw the light, put a boundary in, and then they just projected onto you and was like, you're a bad person. And then you would take on those words, because you take on words very strongly, like, oh my god, I'm a bad person, when you weren't. And you had to like work through that and realize that people were literally just taken from you. Yeah, we literally have the starter that's come out, revelry and indulgence. So people can get addicted to you. I would say that you're quite addictive if you don't hold those traits within you. I would say don't step towards this person if you're not coming correct and correct within yourself, because if you're leaning on this person for their light, it's literally going to eat you up and trigger you, and you're going to end up running away, or you're just going to get addicted to the point that your relationship with this person is going to crumble. This person's going to leave you in their dust because you just, been taken from them, and then you know what I mean, they're never going to be in your life again. So I would say if they really want you in their life, come correct, tap into their own self-worth, tap into their own love, tap into all of that and come correctly like that, and be in that state of giving and receiving. Don't step towards this person like they're going to be a crutch for you, because their spirit guides are not going to have it at all. You know what I mean? They're not going to. It may work for like a day or two, a week or two or whatever, but no, this person is, you're so protected. And it's funny, the back of the deck is the shield. You are safe from harm. So you're someone that I feel doesn't even have to do too much protection. I'm not saying like don't do protection spiritually, like always make sure you're keeping up with that, but you're very, very protected. You're very connected to your spirit team, and you have a lot of guardian angels in the form of animals. You may have even been in like a life-threatening situation, or a situation where there could have been harm and animals have come to your aid, or you may just have a familiar or an animal that is like your best friend that looks after you. Spirit send either human beings like people or animals down to protect you. And I would say don't play, because even if this person is none the wiser as to what you're doing, their spirit guides are. It's something like that. And I've just got shown something like really funny, like somebody like does you dirty, and then someone's spirit guide comes down like a hawk, and they're like eating food, and then the hawk comes and takes their food and flies away. So I don't know whether like people have like left your life and like little things have gone wrong for them, or just like little things, not in the sense of harm or like evil or anything like that, just in the sense of like, this person like did you dirty, and then the tires go flat for like no reason, or like just little things like that. I feel like little things happen, and it's just spirit like around, like coming in like animal form, or I feel like animals are quite connected to you anyway, so like they're doing little things like that. Like don't do that to that person, don't do that. You're protected like that, and they're showing me it in like a humorous way, not in a negative way. It's lighthearted, but yeah, there's something about animals protecting you from harm. So I would say watch yourself. If you come correctly with my pile number 2, their spirit guides don't play at all. That's what I would say about you. And overall, I would just say you're a light. You're like the sun. You're a light. I would say you're so fun. So fun. So that is what I have for you, pile 2. I really enjoyed this reading, and I hope you did too. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it resonated for you. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pal 3, welcome to your reading. So today we are taking a look at what would a tarot reader say about you. If someone went to a reading for you, what would they say about you? So that's what we're taking a look at. You guys chose the citrine crystal. I'm going to pop this down here and we're going to get straight in. Before I get in, I do want to say if you hear little movements, that is my little kitten Jasper. He's taken to coming up here when I read and when I film. He's very inquisitive as to what I am doing and who I am talking to. So he sits on the sofa behind me and that's where he is currently. So if you hear little noises, that's what he's doing. I would bring him over to introduce you, but he is a feral cat, so he comes to you rather than you go to him. So I'm just going to leave him sit there, and if he gets inquisitive, he may come onto the table to say hello, but just warning you, if you hear a noise, that's what it is. So let's get into the reading. Spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of pile number 3, please? Tap me into the collective of pile number 3. Are you guys like Reiki healers, or do you work with energy? Because they're showing me a showering of gold. Like you work with energy, you work in the healing professions, you work I just see you using energy to heal, or you just manipulate energy very well, work with energy very well, manifest very well. There's a lot of gold coming through. And whenever I pick up on people that work in like, you know, like the Reiki professions and tarot reading and stuff like that, usually the more in tune they are, the more there's this gold energy, and that's what I'm picking up for you. I'm being shown a strong connection to Egypt as well. A really strong connection to Egypt, and I'm also being shown black crows. So let me know what that's about. But that's something that I'm picking up straight away. So let's get in pile number, and it's 1:17 on the clock. If that's a number you guys have been seeing, just as confirmation that this is your reading. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. Are you connected to animals in some way? I'm being shown a lot of animals, or you tend to have a lot of like spirit totems, like horses. I've literally been shown horses and crows and birds and cats and felines, just anything like that. I'm picking up like a strong connection to animals. You may be able to like intuitively connect to animals and understand them energy wise. That's something that came through. Pile number 3. What would I say about pile number 3 if someone came to me about a reading on them? What would a tarot reader say about pile number 3? What would a tarot reader say about pile number 3? We had the Lovers. I'm being told you're a siren, whether you realize it or not. You're someone that has a great connection to their femininity, whether you are male or female. And I'm being told that whether you realize this about you or not, you have a very alluring presence, and you can really win a lot of people over or charm a lot of people just in your energy alone, or maybe just you being mysterious to people. Maybe you don't talk a lot in certain situations, maybe you're not the loudest person in the room, but your energy is very magnetizing. And I would say, because I feel like if anyone came to me for reading on you, it would be like I'm hearing like scorned lovers, like relationships, people that were in like a relationship with you more so. Or even I feel like if someone was asking about you, it would be like it feels like I feel the people that question you a lot or wonder about you is either a love interest from the past, or people that are just inquiring about you in the now romantically, or old friends. I feel like they are the people that would want to know about you. It would never be anyone that's been too close to you, because I feel like the people that are really close to you, you show a lot of yourself. But the people that are on the outskirts, you leave a lot to the imagination, and there's such an intensity, but there's this mysterious flair at the same time, that I feel like those are the types of people that would want to ask about you. And I think one of the things that they'd want to ask is why they're very drawn to you, or why you are the way you are. I feel like that's a question that would be asked. Why am I drawn to them? Why can't I stop thinking about them? Or why, you know, I haven't spoken to them in a couple of years, but I still think back to them. Or even like old friends, they may be like, well, why does this person get this? Or why do people really like this person? Why? So I would say, I will tell you for why. The reason being is when I tap into your energy, you guys have a beautiful gold energy surrounding you. What that is you being very connected to the divine, very connected to the angelic realm. whether you believe in starseeds or not, whether you feel connected to them or not, I do feel that you are very ethereal, very angelic, and I feel like you are a very, very wise and developed old soul. So a soul that is coming from a very high dimension to a dimension like the 3D, they are going to have a very direct line to the higher realms, which is, you know, the universe in, you know, it's complete energy, it's that heart energy. You would have that strong connection then, right? So being in the third dimension and being in the physical body, that light that you are pulling on and connected to from those higher realms, you're bringing that down and you're embodying it. Everyone can connect to it, but not a lot of people can embody it or want to embody it, you know what I mean? But you embody it very well, and because of that, it's this purity, but it's hard to put a finger on it, because it's like you're connected to this purity, which in the 3D is mistaken as childlike essence. But then you have so much wisdom and depth and intelligence to you. So it's like, well, what is this person? And I can't quite put a finger on it. No, they can't put a finger on you, because you're multidimensional. And that is something that I would mention about you. You're very multidimensional. You tap into the higher realms very well with these, because you've done it in other past lives. And because you bring that energy down, that is why you shine out. And that's why there's that mysterious flair. Because there's a lot of depth to you that some people just don't want to reach in this lifetime, or haven't, you know, put in their life chart that they want to reach that in this lifetime, in this incarnation. That's fine, but they're still going to be drawn to you, because that energy will feel like home. It will feel healing to them. You know what I mean? Or it may scare them and they'll run away. But either way, that's why you shine out. So that's something that I would reference straight away, is that you're a very, very wise, old and developed soul. That's what I would say. And I would say, if you think that you know Pal 3, you quite probably don't. I would say that about you guys, Pal 3, because they're showing me an iceberg. People see the tip of the iceberg and they're left wondering. And you may tell them enough to let them know, make them think that they know everything, when really you haven't really told them everything. But they think that they know a lot, because you're so multidimensional. It's like you couldn't say everything that goes on in your mind in like one setting. And I just feel like there's so much to you. So I would say, anytime you think you've got this person figured out, anytime that you think you've got this person like on point, know that you have not, because they have more to them and they're always transforming. So you're never going to really get all of them, even if you have a chance to, because they're always transforming into something new. You need to be doing a lot of inner work to keep up with Pal 3. That is something that I would say about you, Pal 3, straight away. Deep, deep, deep souls. I've only pulled one card and it's just flooding in. You know, flooding in. I also feel like you've had a lot of connections that have been false starts, like they weren't able to break the barrier. They weren't able to come too close to you. They may have run away because you cast a light on their shadows. They may have run away because they didn't quite know what you wanted, or they couldn't quite know what to level up to, so they ran away. Or maybe it was, I just see someone like trying to reach you, and there's just like a barrier there, because you move with energy. You'll open up to somebody because you feel that energy, you intuitively know to. Do you understand what I mean? Whereas a lot of people don't move like that. So I feel like your own soul, even like higher self, would almost like put up a barrier if somebody wasn't right for you before your even physical self could tell. And I feel like people are like, well, why didn't they let me in? Why weren't they like that with me? I've seen them be happy-go-lucky and loud with other people. Why were they quiet with me? Or why didn't they let me in? Or why did they cut me off? It's like your higher self puts up a barrier, like, no, you're not getting any of this energy. No way. Like, you're very in tune with your higher self, even if you physically sometimes don't even realize it. Oh, card just flipped over. We have the 5 of Cups. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 3. I'm just going to lay the other cards before I get in, otherwise I'm going to talk for ages. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 3. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 3? What is it about Egypt with you guys? There's a connection there, and it's past life. You may have ancestors that were Egyptian, but or you may literally be Egyptian in this lifetime, but I'm seeing like a connection to past lives there as well. I think you had a lot of lifetimes in Egypt. Page of Swords. Yeah, they keep referencing it to me. Someone actually has a pyramid as an ornament. Let me know who that is. Someone has I'm being shown like a gold pyramid in their home. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. The Fool. See the back of the deck. We have the 3 of Pentacles. I feel like in this lifetime you are supposed to teach people in whatever way that means. Guide people, help people, teach people, be a guide and light to people, teach people wisdom, teach people to like honor their higher self, teach people, you know, all of that. I feel like that's something that you'll be doing in this lifetime. But let me get in. So what would a tarot reader say about pile number 3, please, spirit guides? You can channel pile 3. You can channel very well. Very, very well. And you know, like when I channel, spirit will just speak through me and I'll talk for a really long time. Yeah, you can do that too. You would have learned that in the Egyptian times. I'm being shown somebody in the Egyptian times like taking off like a headgear or something like that and just channeling wisdom, like channeling wisdom down and writing it down, or doing something, or like relaying that information to someone. So you may have worked for someone in a past life. I would say you are an old soul, pile 3. I would say you're a very old soul and you still in this lifetime feel connected to your past lives. There is a lot of wisdom, a lot of wisdom. I would say that you work with energy in this lifetime, whether you are aware that you do or not. I would say that you're a very good manifester. I would say that you're very strong in the sense that you can phoenix out of anything. You may have a lot of Scorpio in your chart. I'm picking up Scorpio. I said that at the beginning. It's a strong Scorpio, Plutonian energy, 8th house energy. That's coming through. I feel like you're someone that sees through a lot of BS. I don't feel like you're someone that will just argue with someone for the sake of arguing. With the Page of Swords here, it's like you really do bring clarity to a lot of confusion for people. I would say that you're someone that I would say don't even attempt to play mind games with my pile number 3. Do not attempt to lie to pile number 3. Don't attempt to bring them into chaos, because they are going to come through with their sword and cut it out. They don't play like that, and their intuition and the way that they move, they can see straight through that and cut all of that fog out and see through it with clarity. I would say that you have a very strong spiritual team. I would say that you work very well with magic and herbs, whether you're aware of it or not. I feel like in this lifetime you'll become more aware of it. Literal herbs and spell work, I feel like you would have done that in a past life, whether you were like a witch doctor, whether you were, you know, just like a Wiccan witch or whatever the case. I feel like you would have done that in past lifetimes, and I feel like that's still a trait and a gift that you have within you right now. I would say don't play with my pile number 3s. Heavily protected. They're also saying that you are anyone who tries to send shots to you, anyone who tries to send negative energy to you, anything like that, I feel like it almost gets blocked. I feel like you may have a lot of Saturn placements as well, like Capricorn or Aquarius, because the thing about Saturn, he's a lot of karma. And if you are going to send negative energy or do bad on anyone with a lot of Saturn influence, it's going to come back on you. The same way that if you are someone with a lot of Saturn influence and you try to do dirty on someone else, Saturn's going to teach you not to do it to that person and bring it back on you. Very ruled by that, and very ruled by that lot of karma. And I feel like you are pile 3, whether you have a lot of Saturn in your chart or not. You're just very, very, very protected. I almost feel like your soul has created, like, it's turning very spiritual. You're my spiritual pile. We'll get deeper, but that keeping me very spiritual. Very, very spiritual and very connected to the higher realms, because they're telling me that your soul would have created a circle of protection around you before you even came into this lifetime, to kind of ward off negative energies, and being shown like a layer of energy around you protecting you. You may do it in this lifetime just generally, but I'm almost being told like your soul knows to do that. I would say pile number 3 that you are quite misunderstood, because with you being mysterious and with you keeping a lot to yourself, a lot of people may try and make out that you're a bad guy. A lot of people may try and make out that you're ignorant or arrogant. I feel like people have tried to do that on you, made you out to be aloof, made you out to be disconnected, or maybe harsh and cold. But when I get into the layers, you're not harsh and cold at all. You actually have a very beautiful heart, and your personality with this Fool card here is very sunny. So I would say please do not judge pile number 3 by their cover. Do not judge pile number 3 because of the assumptions, because you haven't made it into that inner world yet. Because if you take a look at the people that are closest around them, whether it's their pets, whether it's their family, or whether it's their friends, they treat their family, they treat their pets, they treat their people that get into that circle like gold. But because I would say that my pile number 3s, they need to deem you as worthy to get into that circle. They're not just going to be giving you that energy very strongly, because they know the weight of their energy, and they're not just going to pour it out everywhere. Why am I going to pour out energy into somebody that can't reciprocate it. Not that they're a bad person, not that they're a negative person, but they can't reciprocate that back. And I'm very loving and I'm very giving, so I'm going to keep that border up. So there's an energy like that, and I feel like maybe in your childhood you would have had certain situations that you took as rejection, with people like walking away from you and stepping away from you, and it was not rejection at all. It was your soul creating somewhat of a barrier to keep anyone that would have pulled on your energy or taken your energy or left you stuck in a limbo or left you overgiven and burned out. There was that barrier, and I feel like maybe you internalized it as rejection, but I feel like at least happening to you now, you're starting to realize that was never actually rejection, even if you internalized it that way. You were being very protected, and I think you're becoming very aware of how protected you are and how protective your higher self and your soul is of your own energy. So I would say do not mess and come to them correct, because whether they don't physically see it, maybe they're choosing to see the light in you, their soul can see it, and they're just going to be like, boom, no, that's not happening. But when that happens, I would say do not judge them, do not try and, project onto them, because they have a lot of love to give. They're very pure. They're very connected to their heart. They have a very strong connection to nature, a very strong connection to animals, a very strong connection to human beings in general. But it's a hearty connection. Just because you love things and people doesn't mean you have to like them and tolerate them all the time. That's what I'm picking up. It does feel Aquarian in the sense of like, I love you, but I don't particularly like you. But I'm doing this work, whether it's healing or whatever, to help human beings and guide human beings. I'm doing it to help people tap into their inner child, or I'm motivating people to get healthy or whatever. I'm doing it because I love people, but I have to keep my distance or keep a barrier up, because a lot of people I don't like because they try to take, like, there's a feeling of that, and I feel like you get misunderstood. Like, people may think you're like a bad guy for cutting them out or turning cold on them, but it's a protection method. Like, I have to withdraw my energy, and because your energy is so involving, I feel like people really feel the weight when you pull your energy off them or step away from them. And I feel like they'll try and project on you. So that's one thing that I would reference. Do not project onto my pile number 3s. Because whatever it is you're projecting within, they're a lot different. Like I said, you're hard to figure out. I'm having a hard time trying to pinpoint things, even myself. So you're someone that's really hard to figure out and understand. There's a lot that goes on. You have to really be able to reach the depths of the depths to be able to understand what's going on in their brain. And with like a little few conversations, they'll understand if you can do that or not. Very intelligent pile number 3. You're very intelligent. With the 3 of Pentacles as well, I just feel like people learn through you. I almost feel like whether it's the way you dress, whether it's the way you talk, you may find that people mimic you a lot, but it's because they try to learn through you. Like I said, you have this beautiful golden energy coming through. You have this very beautiful healing energy coming through, and you see the little details. You see the beauty in little things. And I feel like whether it's the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you put things together, your career, your business plans, whatever the case, you do it very flawlessly, whether you realize it or not. I do feel like sometimes you are quite perfectionistic, but I feel like you really analyze things, and you have this way of making things look very beautiful or looking very aesthetically pleasing or being full of wisdom and full of love. It's just you, it's just your soul. And I feel like people try to learn through you by copying you. So like, oh, that person wore that outfit and they're really confident, so if I wear that outfit, I'm going to be really confident. Oh, that person's doing that job as their career. Oh, well, that seems to be doing really well for them, so I'm going to start doing that job as a career. And they'll try and mimic. So I would say to anyone, if I was reading you may see a lot of people copying them, but do not try and copy them, because that's their blueprint, that's not yours. That's what I would say to people if they were asking about you, Pile 3, because the reason that you're making it work for you is because it's your calling and it's your energy that's making it great. It may not fit for somebody else. So I would say that straight away. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will try and mimic you. A lot of people, even if it's just like the words that you speak out, courage, because I feel like you lift people up. There's an energy here like you help people, or you give to people, or you lift people up and you inspire people. And that doesn't have to be motivational speaker. That can be owning your own clothing store. That can be making your own music. That can be racing cars. Whatever the case, in whatever dynamic, you lift people up. You are a guiding light like that. You're someone that people look up to. But there is that kind of like Lilith energy where you're misunderstood, and I feel like people want to then get close to you, but then there's almost this invisible force that they can't. or they don't know how to approach you, or they don't quite know how to get into your circle or get into your mind. And then they may start to like internalize, oh, well, this person doesn't even like me. And then they may start projecting onto you. So I would be very heavy on this. Do not like project what you think. What you're thinking of them is probably wrong, because I feel like you get a lot of false assumptions. Pile number 3. And I would say don't underestimate them. They're very intelligent. Pile number 3, I want more energy, please. So pile number 3, spirit guides, get me in deeper. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 3? What would a tarot reader say about pile number 3? I would say that you've been on a self-worth journey in this lifetime, learning to be confident. Let me just show you the card. It's the Harlequin. True feelings are masked. What was I saying? I'm hearing poker face. You guys may have a little bit of a poker face, like you don't necessarily shine your emotions out. So people kind of, and you know what it's reminding me of Harley Quinn from the movie Suicide Squad. When you look at Harley Quinn, well, not the movie, she was in the comics and stuff, but you know what I mean. When we look at Harley Quinn and her story, she was very empathic and very sweet at the beginning, and she fell in love with the Joker, who was this clown, but like, she saw the light in a very dark and twisted person. She saw the light in them. And to do that, you have to be very empathic and be able to read energies like that. And yes, okay, she did end up turning crazy and whatnot, but people will always talk about her then in that kind of like DC world, like she's a bad guy, she's a bad person, forgetting how intelligent she is, forgetting before that she was very empathetic, and she did have, you know, a very open heart. There may have been a sense of naivety, but she did have an open heart. And even being like Harley Quinn, it's like she was still very cunning, she was still very charming, she was still very beautiful, she was still very strong, you know, she could fight like men off, like she had so much to her. And I feel like that's kind of like you in a sense. I'm not saying you're Harley Quinn, but there is that kind of energy, like in the sense of Harley Quinn, like people may love to, how do I explain this energy? I don't want to like butcher it for you. You know, like in the movie franchise, Harley Quinn is the one that kind of like stands out among all of them. She is that character. Everyone wants to dress up as her. Everybody loves Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. She is that kind of like shining star. And she's meant to be a villain, but they can't help but love her. So even people that want to dislike you, they can't help but love you. You have that charm. And again, it's in a very like Lilith way, like dark feminine way, but you have that charm. Yeah, that's what I would say. And I know this is a reading about like what would I say about you, but I feel like a lot of people try to like mirror your poker face and mirror your like straight face to act like they're not bothered by you, or they don't really care about you when they really do. Like I feel like a lot of people check up on you to see what you're doing. While I'm channeling, it feels confusing to me. So I hope it's making sense to you, but that's what I'm being told. But as I was saying with the citrine crystal here as well, I feel like you would have been on a self-worth journey. It doesn't feel like self-love. I feel like you've always had an element of self-love, to be honest with you. It's more so self-worth. I feel like a lot of rejections in the past, you would have took them as rejections, like they didn't want me, what was wrong with me? But it was like, no, it's not the case of what was wrong with you. It was like they weren't right for you. It was like divine intervention. They're not for you. They're not going to be able to fill into your cup the way that you would be able to do that. It's like, no. I feel like your ancestors, spirit guides, higher self were like, no. And I feel like you would internalize that as rejection. I feel like you've been unlearning that pattern to realize how much of like a king or queen that you are, because I think you're learning and coming into a time where you're learning how powerful you are, how connected to spirit you are, and you're a bad bitch or bad boy, whatever the case. Like, you know what I mean? You're gold. I was literally being shown gold as it tapped into you. Like, you are. And I feel like you're learning that. And I feel like a lot of people may not want you to see that or be worried about you tapping into that, because I feel like you draw in some jealous people, pile 3. But I see you tapping into that. So I would let people know they're on this self-worth journey. And they're only going to get better and better. And I would say, even if you try to chuck rocks at them, they're going to return with their confidence in hand 10 times harder, because anything that pile 3 go through, they learn through it, they really embody it, and they transmute it. You can't chuck anything to them that they're not going to transmute. And they're very strong like that and very intelligent. So if you don't want to see them confident and you think bullying them or trying to put them down is going to make them less confident, may do for a second, but give it a couple of days and they're going to transmute that and come back even more confident. bet. Like, that's what I'm being told about you. So don't play. Don't play. And I just shared, and that's on a lot of karma. Like, that's on Saturn. So you must have some Capricorn Aquarius planets, or Saturn very dominant. Pile number 3. You're very intricate. Like, trying to wade myself through. There's so much information coming through that I'm going up, down, left, right. So much goes on in your brain. Very analytical. And so much goes on in other people's brain when they're trying to read you or trying to understand you. I feel like even the most in-depth tarot readers would have a little bit of a field day channeling you or tapping into you, because there is so much that goes on. And even tarot readers, they read like from their own level of perception. And I feel like some tarot readers would be like, oh. Do you know what I mean? I'm having trouble. And you may get that when you watch pick of cards. People are like, oh, I feel like this is confusing me, but it makes complete sense to you. It's because you're very deep. Even I'm like trying to wade through and like bob my head and get through the energies, because there's so much coming through. Like I could read on you for like an hour. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. What would a tarot reader say about you? What would a tarot reader say about pile 3? Your secrets are safe. Okay, I don't know how to say the word at the top, so I'm just going to say your secrets are safe. Do you know what it reminded me of, though? Because I was thinking, do you know when I was saying, like, when people see you wearing something, they'll want to go and buy it because they think that'll make them look as good as you, but it was you that kind of, like, rocked that made it look so good. I was thinking of Regina George, but I didn't say it because it just came through on my mind. So I just, I used that analogy to like explain. But then when I saw that, your secrets are safe, I was shown Gretchen from Mean Girls, and they say, that's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets. Like, I just shared that. So people may have like Mean Girls mentality with you. Like, look at you as like, I don't know, Regina George or like Gretchen or somebody like that. You do kind of have that energy. You may be thinking, no, I don't. I swear you do. You really do. And they always talk about them in the movie. Like, I hear her hair is insured for like $10,000 or something like that. I can't remember the right word, but there's a feeling of that. Like, people like, did you know this person's doing this? Did you know this person's talking to that? This person, did you see what that person wore? Like, you're that for people. I feel pile 3. Whether you realize it or not, you're just in your own little worlds. Yeah. And you know what it's reminded me of as well? When I saw your secrets are safe, all I heard was, shh, we don't talk about Bruno. So you guys may be psychic, pile 3. Because in the movie Encanto, if you've probably watched it. In the movie Encanto, Bruno hides from his family, but he could, like, prophesy the future. Like, he could see the future. And he would relay that. And there was the song, which I doubt any of you haven't heard it. It's called We Don't Talk About Bruno. And there's like a feeling of that. And it's funny because they're saying through the whole song, we don't talk about Bruno, while singing about him the whole way through. And even his little shadows dancing in the background. So there is that energy. Like, people may try not to talk about you or whatever, but they can't help but speak about you. They can't help but bring things up about you. That's just like an energy about that. And I feel like that's why they'd come to you. The reason they're referencing it is because that's why they'd come to a reading about you, to know about you, to like understand you a little bit better. Yeah. Pile number... Have people told their secrets to you as well? Because I feel like you're a really good secret keeper. I feel like people in your past may have told you things and they're scared of it getting out. This is only for a few of you. So I would let them know that their secrets are safe, because that just came through as well. There's a lot coming through from this card. But I would tell them, because the thing is, you're very loyal. Even when you're not speaking to somebody, you are very loyal. And if somebody told you something in confidence, you wouldn't go and spread that. You're not that type of person. I don't feel like you're a gossiper at all. So with that energy, I'm being told, like, people may have said things to you in confidence when they were a little bit close to you, because you do have that healing energy. People want to speak to you. And I feel like people worry about you saying it to other people. But I would say that you wouldn't do that. I would vow for you that because of this underlying loyalty that you have in any way. You have this energy of, if I wouldn't want it done to me, I wouldn't do it to somebody else. Pile number... You're a very good person. I feel like people have tried to project that you're a very good person with a very, very lovely heart. Very loyal. May have some Leo energy. Pile number 3. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 3? Yeah, I would say, like, if anyone was to bring you into their life, you're ride or die. You would do a lot for people. But I feel like you make sure that they would do that for you too. Very, very loyal. Very, very loyal. You really care about people. We also have the key. Locked doors can now be opened. I feel like in your earlier life, there was a lot of doors that were locked for you. Maybe that you didn't see a lot of abundance growing up. Maybe you didn't have a strong connection to a certain parent growing up. Maybe you had to do a lot of things on your own growing up. And I would reference how strong you are and how many doors you've broken down just to bring yourself abundance or love. And that's why you don't play about your energy. I would say that you've really work through a lot of karma, work through a lot of generational karma. I would say that you've worked through a lot of pains and transmuted them to open doors. And I would say if you see pile number 3 driving a nice car in a nice house, if you see pile number 3 smiling, that wasn't effortless. They really fought for that. They really worked hard for that. They did a lot of inner work for that. And just because you didn't see it physically doesn't mean it didn't happen. They do a lot energetically. I would say that my pile number 3s do a lot on a cellular level, on an energetic level, and on an emotional level that's a lot of people don't see. And that's why they're so careful with their energy. And that's the power of it. You don't care to show off for it. I feel like your energy in itself is what shines out anyway. And I would say that do not underestimate them, because they could be going through something right now that you wouldn't even be aware of. You could be sitting next to them on a train or a bus or in the car, and you would think that they're just sitting there zoning out when really they're analysing something or transmuting something right there and then. Like, they're doing a lot. So don't underestimate. That's why I would say the whole reading, do not underestimate this person. Don't come to them with funny business. Do not do it. Pile 3. What would a tarot reader say about pile 3? Please, spirit guides. What would a tarot reader say? Oh, my body's warming up. When I channel, my body warms up. I get so hot. Pile number 3. Oh, too many cards fell. Just one more card, please, spirit guides. What would a tarot reader say about pile 3? I keep hearing we don't talk about Bruno. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 3? I also feel like you do, let me just grab the card that fell on the floor. You do tell people straight as well. Like, when people are close to you, I feel like you'll tell them the hard truth, even if it hurts, out of love. And I feel like people may try and flip that onto you and project, like, that person was mean to me because they said that boy that has been using me is never coming back to me. And then you're like, well, he was using you and he's not going to come back, and you shouldn't let him back, because, you know what I mean, you don't deserve that. But then they'll try and, like, throw it at you, you know what I mean? Or, don't eat that food, it's, like, bad for you, like, I thought you wanted to be healthy. And then they're like, oh, like, you know what I mean? I feel like you do stuff out of love, and people may try and, like, turn it into something else. Very much like Bruno from the movie, when he was prophesying and they were acting like his prophecies were bad, when he was just being the bearer of the bad news, or being the bearer of the news, and they were just shifting it and making him out to be a bad guy when he wasn't. We have winds of change. Your surroundings will undergo a transition. Yeah, this is what I was saying. When you see them in that nice car and that nice house, or that job that's blowing up, that didn't happen overnight, that isn't something that was done easy, and if you think it was easy, try and do it yourself. Because with this key card and then winds of change, I feel like you've transmuted a lot, done a lot of shadow work to bring in the abundance that you want, or to shine out the light that you want, or to reach the depths that you have. Because you work with energy very well, you work with energy very strongly, very well. And I feel like you're going to manifest a lot in this lifetime. So I would say that when you see them driving around and doing all of these things that you thought they wouldn't have been able to bring in, don't think it came to them easy at all. They've done a lot of work. That's a lot of dedication to self, I would say. On the back of the deck, we have the unicorn, good fortune and friendship. What was I saying about good fortune and friendship? I feel like with that energy, again, like I was saying, you are a ride or die for the people in your circle. You are very, I don't know why my hands are shaking. You are very loyal to the people that you're around. I feel like when you get riches, when you get like gold or whatever, you would share that with other people. You will always do that. Whether it's just a meal, whether it's money, you would share that with others, and you would really give to other people. And I would say it's very beneficial to be around you. But that's the thing. Don't be stepping towards them because of the things that they have or little things that they can give to you. Can you match that up? Because if you can't, you're going to be kicked back out. And they're not a bad person for not allowing you in. They're just very protective because they're a very good friend, a very good person with a very loyal heart. And they've got big things to do in this lifetime, I would say. And they are going to manifest a lot in for them. And the universe doesn't play like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why you're very protected. I feel like you really are on a mission in this lifetime. So yeah, I would basically the whole reading warn them to come correct. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in your brain. You're very deep and very in depth. I feel like they'd walk away from that reading have a completely different perspective of you than what they would have stepped towards it with. I just heard someone's spirit guide say, yeah, they're not the one. Don't mess with pile 3. They're not the one. Your spirit guides are very protective over you, pile 3. And I feel like they'd come through strong in a reading if anyone asked about you. If anyone pulled their tarot cards out about you, they'd come through very strong. If anyone tried to do any sort of spell work, I don't see anyone doing it. But if they did, I just see your spirit guides behind them with their arms folded. Like, really? You want to do this? You really want to do this? I don't think you want to do this. Like, there's that type of energy. You are very, very protected. So that's what I had for you, pile number 3. It did go a little bit different than what I thought it would, but I hope it resonated for you, and I hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 4, welcome to your reading. So today we are taking a look at what would a tarot reader say about you, or aka what would I say about you if someone asked me about you. So that's what we're looking at today. You guys chose the clear quartz. I'm going to pop that by here. We're going to get straight in. I'm going to start with tarot, then I'll move on to the oracle cards. And like I said to pile 3, because I filmed the last 2 piles on a different day, if you hear movement, noises, things being knocked over, that's my little kitten Jasper. He likes to come up here now when I read. This is usually where Softy would sit when I'd read, but Jasper's coming up here now. I like to think she's teaching him the ropes. So he's up here, but he's a little rascal. He's not as quiet as Softy, and he's on my sofa right now. So if you hear noises, that's Jasper. So yeah, let's get into the reading. So pile number 4, tap me into the collective of pile number 4, please. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 4? Why am I being shown doves? Is doves a spirit totem or an animal for you? I'm being shown doves, white doves coming through. Do you work with Aphrodite? Feels like a strong connection, Aphrodite, to me. I'm literally being shown her now. And roses. Yeah, Aphrodite is coming through as a guide for you, pile 4. Are you working on self-love, or are you opening back up to love after a period of being single? You might be. Yeah, she's around you really strong. Strong connection to your heart chakra. You've been having expansions in your heart chakra, and it's not anything new. I feel like I would have told you this before. This has been happening for a while, taking me to 3 years. 3 or 4 years. Maybe even longer. You've been working on a wound that was stopping healthy connections from manifesting for you. Yeah, that's something that's coming through. I'm going to get into tarot now because I'm going to keep speaking. But one thing that I would say about you, pile 4, straight off the bat, is that you are you're like a delicate rose. Your energy is very soft. And when I say soft, I mean like in the sense of, how do I explain this? You're very peaceful. You're very connected to your heart. You're very connected to your emotional body. You are a very authentic expression of love. And when I say love, I mean like unconditional love. Anyone that comes into your life, I feel like you'll treat them as family, or just have a lot of love for them. You see the highest potential in people a lot. I feel like sometimes that may have gotten you into trouble with connections, where you would have given a lot or seen the potential in people, but they didn't want to live up to that potential. And you may have like Neptune in the 5th house, or Neptune in the 7th house, or something like that. It's something that you had to learn to balance, and I do feel like you've been balancing it out. I feel like that's why Aphrodite is coming through for you. But very connected to your emotions. You feel people. I feel like you're clairsentient, and that's something that I would say about you. You're very clairsentient, very empathic, very empathetic, very nurturing. That's something I would say straight away. You're very soft. You're a very soft energy compared to the other piles. Very soft. I don't mean soft like weak. I mean soft like you feel warm. Do you know what I mean? You feel warm. Sometimes I could tap into an energy and I wouldn't feel much warmth. I feel warmth with you. In a very delicate way. It's not in your face. And I also feel like you're very naturally attractive. Naturally attractive, naturally beautiful, naturally handsome. but it feels like a Taurus rising type of way, like a Zendaya, you know what I mean? It's that type of energy. Pile number I'm also being shown SZA. Do you listen to a lot of SZA? I just showed SZA's song Supermodel. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What would I say about pile number 4? What would a tarot reader say about pile number 4? What would a tarot reader say about pile 4? God, your cards don't want to come out. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 4? This card just flipped. We have the 3 of Wands. For some reason, I'm having trouble getting your cards out. Do you guys have that when you're trying to use tarot? The cards take a while to come out. They're doing that for me. Pile number 4. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 4? Tap me into pile number 4, please, Spirit. What would a tarot reader say? Hang on a second. Pile 4. You have spirit protecting you. Like the reason the cards weren't jumping out for me with you is because you have spirit protecting you before I tap into your energy. The way I read, I sit in the energy and I feel the energy and I feel the emotions, and I'll be able to feel all of that. And it was like your spirit guides were coming through waiting to see why I was doing that, what I was pulling on your energy for. So people may, pile number 4, try to read on you, tarot read, go to psychics about you, and you may find it's blocked if they have ill intentions. Or you may find that they may not even tell you, but they would have a hard time tapping into your energy. Not because your energy is hard to read. I feel like when I step into it now, you'll be probably one of the easiest to read because you're like me, connected to the emotional body. However, people that aren't that way would have a hard time too. And your spirit guides are very, like, not in control of your energy, but there's almost like gates there, like, well, why do you want to pull on the energy? What's the reason for it? So there's like been a delay in me fully tapping into you. I hope that makes sense. That's what they were like letting me know. So they putting like a cloak around me, like, okay, come in. It's like that. So you're very protected, pile 4. I don't know whether you do like protection spells or anything like that, but you are very protected, similar to pile 3. Pile number 4. Here we go. Pile 4. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 4? What would a tarot reader... You just want simplicity. That's why you're so protected. You don't care to be the loudest. You do not care to be the richest. You don't care to be the one with the most likes or whatever the case. You just want peace. You just want love for everyone. You have a very, very beautiful, peaceful heart. I feel like you're very like no drama, very Libra, very Taurus. I feel like your energy is so healing, but it's so quaint at the same time. You are not someone that would go around playing games. You are not somebody that would even think of a thought that someone would try and like use you or anything like that. I feel like you've learned that people do it, but maybe in your earlier life you wouldn't even put your mindset into that, because you are such a sweet soul. You see the light in everything, and the reason you see the light in everything is because, kind of similar to pile number 3 in the sense, you are connected to the higher realms. And with you being connected to the higher realms, you look at life that way. You look at life with optimism. Maybe Sagittarius energy within your natal chart. You look at life with optimism. You look at life with light. And you look at everybody around you like that. You look at the world like best case scenario. Because you come from those higher realms where that would just naturally manifest. So when you see things that happen on earth, or when you see things that happen, it's like, it can hurt you, it can upset you, because it's like when things are happening of like destruction, or people are being mean to each other, or people are hurting each other, it hurts you. It really, really hurts you. And you're very, very sensitive like that. And I don't mean sensitive in a way of like you're not strong, because to be able to hold on to that energy in a world like this, that is strength. That's a lot of strength. But it's like you are very, very protected because people have seen that heart and seen that purity and tried to pull on it thinking that it was a weakness. And I feel like people have hurt you in your life. Because you saw the good in them. You know, they could have been lying to your face and you can see that they're lying, but you also understand why they're lying. You see their inner child. You can look at people. I would say this about you, pile 4. You could go into a room, You may be the quietest one there, but you're doing the most energetically because you are seeing people, like really seeing people. Not just like, oh, I'm reading this person or whatever. You're like, you can see people's inner childs. Any little bit of personality that people shine out, you see that. You can understand. Even like me reading you, you're like, I can see Lexi's inner child coming out. I can see a part of her wounds coming out. I can understand why she says things like that. Like you can feel it. And it's not in an analytical way. Path 3 were very like analytical. You guys, it's like an emotional way. And by that emotional sense, you embody emotions like I do. Like I'm able to read now. Do you understand how quick I'm talking now and how I've flowed into it now that I'm tapping into you? You do that too. And the reason that you have so much empathy is because it's not just a case of analytical, I'm reading it. It's not just a case of psychically, I'm seeing it. It's a case of emotionally, I'm feeling it. You become it. So that's why you have the empathy. Do you understand what I mean? And because you can feel it, you understand people. So it's hard to be angry with people, even when they've done you wrong, because you understand. You understand it because you are strongly clairsentient and strongly connected to your emotional body. And you even pick up, I would say this about you, Path 3. I would say, not Path 3, Path 4. You, Path 4, you pick up, like you go sit next to somebody, right? On a beach. I don't know why I'm being on a beach, right? You sit next to somebody on a beach. And all of a sudden, I don't know, let's just say your leg starts hurting, right? And you're like, wait a minute, my leg was not hurting, right? And then the person beside you gets up and walks away. And all of a sudden that hurt goes. The reason you had that hurt is because the person sat next to you had sciatica or something and you were picking up on it. And you had that for a minute because you were tapping into it. And then they walked away and then it went. I feel like that happens to you with emotions, with anger, with, you'll be sitting there fine, you'll walk into a room and you'll feel this frustration. 10 minutes earlier, people would have been arguing and you feel it straight away. Strongly connected to your emotions. And that's why you're very protected. Very protected because you tend to like take on a lot without even realizing. And I feel like you've learned or are learning to put boundaries up with your emotional body. Observe and not absorb. Because I feel like a lot of people in your life have leaned on you to feel better, leaned on you to carry their weight. It's reminding me as well of like, even though your energy is very soft, it's reminding me of, the movie Encanto. I don't know if you've watched it, probably have, but there's a girl on there and she's like really strong. And I guess it's a metaphor for being like emotionally strong. And she has a song on there called Surface Pressure. And she's basically talking about like, yeah, okay, give me your loads, give me your pains, give me all your troubles and stuff like that. I'll take it on. No pressure. But it does build up. And I feel like in your life you've had that. Where people have taken advantage of you. And not because they were trying to do you dirty, just because you were so nurturing, you were so loving. They would just kind of like pop that on you. And you just kind of like take it. Maybe in childhood you learned to mother your own parents or father your own parents or look after parents, or you learned to be their counselor to your siblings or your parents before you were even of age to understand half the things you were digesting. So because of that, you've learned to kind of like give and be nurturing. And I feel like this 3 or 4 year period, you've been learning like, you know what, it's time for me to receive. There needs to be a balance. I understand why people are doing all of these things, but I can't heal them. And that's something that's coming through. Your energy is in transmuting energy right now. Let me lay the other 2 cards. Pile up, because I haven't even read the cards yet. Pile number 4. You are clairsentient and you get downloads like me. That's why I'm reading you like that, more better than the cards. And I feel like if you are psychic, you don't even need cards. Like I'll just talk for ages. That's you. I feel like you do that. You would do good with like flower petal readings. Yeah, I just got a really big thumbs up there. Flower petal readings, reading with herbs and twigs. I keep meaning to do a reading with that and I keep forgetting, so let me remind myself. Spirit, remind me to do a reading like that soon. Runes, anything that like you can just like see an image in something like tea leaves and then just channel. That's what you're good at because you embody people's feelings and emotions. Pile number 4. And if you ever wonder if you're not protected, you really are. The fact that even I had to wait and have your spirit guide suss me out before I tapped into you. Because I feel like even now, you'd feel me tapping into you. When people do readings on you, you feel it. You know when people don't like you or are angry with you. You know when people are switching up their energy with you. very emotionally intelligent. It's called emotional intelligence, and you have it, and you're very, very intelligent in that sense. That's what I'm being told about you. Back of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. So let's actually read the cards now. Before we get onto the oracles, let's see what the cards say. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. What would a tarot reader say about pile 4? What would I say about pile number 4? Okay. Yeah, strong Pisces energy coming through as well. The amount of cups that are coming through here could be Cancer and Scorpio as well, but I am picking up a strong Pisces. You may be from the pile that I said before, the Janae Aiko song Spotless Mind, where she's like always moving on and ascending. You feel like that, whether you're spiritually ascending or you're just reaching a lot of emotional depths and transmuting that. I feel like you're always moving on, and I just feel you're very graceful. I would say that about you, pile 4. I would say that you're very graceful. Everything, I feel like you feel the weight of the world, and sometimes that can make you feel low energy, and that can make you feel depressed. Even sometimes you'll pick up on other people's energies and you're in a low mood when it wasn't even your mood you were feeling. You just were picking up on somebody else's. I would say that you have to do a lot of work to like keep yourself grounded, because other people's emotions can really take you for a whirlwind. I would say that, but I would say that you're very graceful. I would say that you have a very soft touch. I would say that you are very emotionally healing. I would say that you're emotionally fulfilling. I would say that anyone that would be welcomed into your life, you would really emotionally fulfill them. You would really pick them up. I feel like people would say about you being in their life, you're kind of like a ray of sunshine. They feel better after speaking to you. They feel better after being around you. It's like the same way that you'll pick up on other people's energies, and you may pick up on their anxieties or frustration or jealousy or whatever. Your energy is also magnetizing, so when people are around you, they'll pick up on that emotionally healing energy and feel better around you. So you are kind of like a little bit of a ray of sunshine to people, to be honest with you. Page of Cups, Six of Cups. I feel like a lot of people think back to you. I just hear the word regret. I do feel like a lot of people think back to you. I feel like you're such a soother. You're so lovely. You're so sweet. I feel like you're someone that really tends to the little things. You may have like Venus in Virgo. I feel like you're someone that you'd be in a conversation with people and you'd hear somebody like say they liked a specific drink. You would go and get that drink. Like you remember everything. I would say because of all that water energy as well, water holds memories. I would say that you remember everything. I would say don't try and lie to this person. They pick up on everything. They remember everything, and they also remember how you made them feel. So I would also say do not hurt pal 4. Don't take pal 4 for granted, because they're really gonna feel it. You project onto them, or you are mean to them. Yes, they'll understand why you're doing it, but it will also hurt them because they wouldn't have done you like that. Because I don't feel like you're going out of your way to be mean to people. So I would say be careful how you treat pal 4, because having that strong emotional body, yes, it's a strength, but at the same time, especially in your earlier years, being a delicate rose like that, it was like I feel like you were mishandled when you really shouldn't have been. And I feel like a lot of people do think back to you in regret. And I feel like you've forgiven everybody in your life, or you're learning to forgive. That's a part of healing the heart chakra. So whether you're there or not, it doesn't matter. I see you doing it. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of regret to you and like would think back to you. And I would say to whoever was like asking about you, they do forgive. You know what I mean? If they had hurt you, I would say they do forgive, but like they want better for themselves. Like don't bother trying to like step towards them, or yes, okay, maybe give them an apology, but don't try and use the same tactics to come back, because they've really grown into this Queen of Swords. And I feel like you're learning to use your emotional body as a strength, especially with this Queen of Swords here. I feel like you're learning to use your emotional body as a strength, and have boundaries with people, preserve your energy, protect your energy, and step into your own with the butterflies in the top of the crown. That's like an energy of enlightenment here, and I really do feel like you're really stepping into your own, especially the energy that I'm tapping into now. You've really stepped into your own, or stepping into your own, and I feel like you're learning boundaries and you're understanding who is right for you. And I feel like you're learning to take people at face value. Yes, you understand why people are doing things, but you've learned to emotionally understand, okay, this person's doing this out of their inner child. This has nothing to do with me. I don't need to internalize this. However, this is a pattern that keeps happening. They have no sense of trying to change at any point. They may say it, but I don't emotionally feel it. So I'm going to step away, and I'm going to like preserve this energy and I'll wait until someone can match this for me. And I feel like you're learning that with people, whether it's friendships or relationships. I feel like you've had a lot of people that have taken advantage of your kindness and you always being there. I would say that you're a very good friend. I would say that you're a very sweet friend. I feel like you really care about the people that you're around. I feel like you really emotionally care. You're the type of person to do like protection spells for your friends, or like really worry about them. I'm hearing the Friends song, I'll Be There For You. I feel like you're that type of friend, like really caring about people. You treat people like family. People come into your life and you naturally treat them like family. And again, I feel like maybe in earlier life there was a sense of naivety because you're coming from these higher realms and it's such a beautiful heart. It's like, I see everyone as family. You know, I'm going to treat everyone like family. I'm going to give them all my love. But some people really didn't deserve that. You know what I mean? I mean, everyone deserves it, but they didn't like deserve you doing it because they weren't doing it to you. And you had to learn to create that balance, that people weren't just taking advantage, because you will treat everybody like family because your soul understands we're all cut from the same source. We're all cut from the same cloth. I would say that the more you tap into your emotional body and understand that it's a strength, I feel like you're gonna reach emotional fulfillment. I would say that you're like the prime example of like wifey husband energy. I would like you to be like an older sibling to me or a parent, to be honest with you, pal. And before, I feel like whether you have kids or not, I feel like whether you want kids or not, I feel like even if it's pets, you know what I mean, like you would treat your children or even your pets like with so much love, and you know what I mean, because you just live through the heart. That's just your energy. So I would say like your ultimate like wifey husband goals, you really are. Yeah, I would say that about you. I would say you're very, very nurturing. Something about you being a good cook. This is only going to resonate for a few of you guys. Whether it's cooking or baking, there's something that you're good at. Like, it feels like cooking or baking or something like that you're really good at. Very nurturing. Very, very nurturing. And just very sweet. Like, you're very sweet. But I would say do not mistake their kindness for weakness. Because to hold that amount of weight, it's very strong. That's the reason, like, Pisces is the 12th sign. You know what I mean? It's the 12th sign, and the reason it's there, it's because like that's mastery over emotions, and people will look at like Pisces energy as like being maybe soft or too, you know, like naive or whatever. But when you actually look at the embodiment of Pisces energy, and when you master that energy, to have a soul master that energy in this lifetime, whether you have that or 12th house placements or whatever, or just to master their emotional body in this lifetime, is one of the hardest tasks, because we're so cut off to our emotions in this lifetime. We don't even look out in nature and respect nature, a lot of us. We don't. But to really embody the emotions and feel people, and the amount of weight that people hold down within themselves because they don't want to embody it. The reason they don't want to embody their emotions and they cut off from them and they're scared of them is because they're scared to embody it because of how strong it is. So the fact that you embody it in this lifetime, in this 3D world where everyone's cut off to it and being mean to each other, and you still choose to do that and still choose love and forgiveness, that is strength. And that is something that I would stress to anyone coming to me about you, saying this person is very strong, very, very strong, because the strongest hearts will move in a gentle way. Look at elephants. They're the most peaceful animals ever. I love elephants so much, and they could destroy whatever they wanted to. They're like the biggest animals, but they don't, because they're peaceful, they're full of love, you know. So it's like that. They're very gentle, and I feel like your heart, it could move mountains, it could slay dragons, it could really do damage if it needed to, but the reason you were gifted with it is because you were going to use it for good. And that's something that I would reference 100%. That's why you're so protected, because you have that kind of direct line. So let's get into your oracle cards. Pile number 4, please, for your guides. Is someone eating grapes? I just got the flavor of grapes in my mouth. I just like tasted it. We have air. Seek a union of mind and spirit. Okay, so with you being very connected to your emotional body, and really I feel like that's your strongest body that you're connected to, with the air energy here, when we think of air energy, we think of mental energy. And I feel like you're learning in this lifetime to, and you've learned this through experience, because you learn through experience, you're learning to discern mentally. You're learning to not just emotionally feel the patterns and the wounds that people are connected to in regards to their inner child. You're learning to mentally filter through them. You're learning to be able to put up blockages, in the sense of like blocking energies out so you don't have to consume so much. You're learning to discern. You're learning how to properly plan and dissect, because you'll just like take on an energy, but in the physical world, people will, they don't always act out of their emotions. They don't always do that. And you're learning to discern and understand what makes people tick, and what makes people understand, like what makes people, sorry guys, I'm having a hard time trying to put this into words. You're learning how to, Spirit, help me put this into words. You're learning how to decipher people's ego, because where your soul naturally comes from, you don't move by ego. And you're even just coming into this lifetime, you're not led by ego at all. You're led by your heart and your emotions. So you're learning the ego and why it does the things that it does. You may be getting into psychology or something like that, or just by experience, you're learning to discern people, to understand why people do the things that they do, why they choose to act out of ego and not step into their emotions and their potential. You're learning to like understand that, and learning that not everyone's gonna step into their potential in this lifetime. And I feel like that may be bittersweet because you've had to step away from people. But I want to say, just for you, that you do have someone coming that's going to be very connected to their emotional body too, and that will be able to reach your depths of emotion. Something they just said, worth the wait. So if you're waiting for a romantic connection or a friendship that really sees you, it's on its way in, because you're doing the work. Pile number 4. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 4, please, spirit guides? What would a tarot reader say? What we got here? The Green Man. The forces of nature favor you. This is reminding me of what's it called? Avatar. In the movie Avatar, Jake speaks to Ewa, which is like the tree, and it's kind of like nature, right? And he speaks to Ewa, and he asks Ewa to help him fight, because the humans were kind of trying to destroy this world. So he asks Ewa to help him fight, and it's, you know, it comes about that, you know, nature's very balanced. It's not going to help you fight. And then as the fight's taking place and people are dying, all of the creatures, like all of the animals, all of the birds, they come to Jake's aid. And like Natsuri, she shouts out like, Ewa, I heard you. So it's like you're very connected to animals, you're very connected to nature, and spirits see you. The universe sees you. Your spirit guides see you. You have a very beautiful heart, and you're understanding that, and you're moving with that. And because of that, I'm not saying like because of that you can't be harmed, but what I'm saying is, with that level of like purity, that has to be matched with a level of purity. And sometimes it's hard for you, pile number 4, to see light in the world, because you are the light. Do you understand what I mean? It's hard for you to see the light around you because you are that guiding light for people. But people are going to come in. The more you shine that light out, people are going to come in that are going to be able to resonate with you. I hope that made sense. I hope I explained it properly. But I'm not saying like you're favored above other people, but the reason that you've had a hard time seeing the light, you know, and you've chosen to see the light of people that weren't embodying it, was because that light you were seeing in them, it was you. You were, you know what I mean? That was the light that you were emitting from you. I hope that makes sense. Pile number 4, hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. And that's why certain connections are falling through. They weren't able to give you what you deserved. They weren't able to pour into you the way that you pour into them. I feel like people would have taken you for granted in certain connections in the past, whether it was friendships or relationships. They were removed from your life because they were pulling on your energy and not contributing to it. So out of like the law of like nature, that had to be shifted, that had to be changed. That wasn't rejection. It wasn't them, you know, maybe they did act a little bit spiteful or whatever, but it was kind of like divine intervention. It was like you being protected. Like I said at the beginning, the way I had to wait like 7 minutes to tap into you properly, you're very protected. Pile number 4. What would a tarot reader say about pile number 4? We have the serpent. A sly and subtle approach is needed. Yeah, okay. This is what I'm being told. Like, you have such a beautiful open heart and emotion. You move that way. And I'm not saying for you to become sly, but you are learning to be more tactful. You're learning to, you know, like animals when they're out in the wild, they have to be tactful for the way that they move. I feel like you're learning to be that way. That's something you're learning in this lifetime, or you've learned to be in this lifetime. Not because you're being sly, but it's like, I'm not just going to open my heart and treat you like family. Like, I really need to discern you. And that's something that you've been learning. And that's something that I would reference. But to be honest, I think like if someone came to me for a reading on you, I would be very careful what I would say, because spirit would want me to be very careful. So I don't even think I would tell them that you're learning that. I don't think I would tell them anything that you're learning. I would keep that kind of hidden. I feel like spirit would put shields over to, like, you know, let them know. I feel like if someone came to you for a reading, there would be shields over certain bits of information so that people can't see like blind spots or like weak spots and try and like jump in on them. Do you understand what I mean? I would be very careful what I would say in regards to that. Yeah, definitely. The back of the deck, we have the spirit. Oh wow. The back of the deck is unseen forces watch over you, which I think is very self-explanatory given what I was explaining in the video. You're very, very protected. Very protected. And you're just sensitive to a lot of energies, but you're learning to use it as a gift and not have it as a weakness. In the past, you may have looked at it like a weakness, but it's not. Maybe people try to shame you in the past for it being a weakness, and it's not. It's a strength, and you're learning that. And I would say to anyone who tapped in, like, don't even try this person. Don't even try this person. The fact that they're able to tap into these deep emotions and tap into that and be able to transmute it and not be scared of it, that's very, very strong. Very, very strong. Yeah, that's what I would say about you, Pal 4. So I really hope that you enjoyed, Pal 4. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this resonated. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.